The Benz Patent Motorwagen is considered to be the first successful gasoline-powered automobile. There were gasoline-powered vehicles prior to. Some were somewhat successful, some were wholly unsuccessful. But Benz was able to create this, market it, sell it, and continue on with the business. That's success. And I think that's one of the big things that set Karl Benz apart. The first Benz Patent Motorwagen was actually patented in 1886. He completed it in '85, but it wasn't official until January of the following year. Bertha Benz played a much bigger role in Karl Benz's success than I think really anyone recognizes or even understands. Their relationship, their partnership actually started before they were ever married. In 1871, she convinced her father to commit her dowry to her then fiance's business venture to help keep him afloat. Ironically, after they married, she actually lost her right to participate as an investor, as a partner in the business. And I'm not sure if it was because she married the principal or just under German law, once a woman was married, she couldn't participate in a business in that manner anymore. But she never lost her interest or her willingness to help out in the shop. After they put the kids to bed, she'd be down in the shop, or on one occasion I read that she sat at her sewing machine running the treadle by foot to charge the accumulator, which was part of the electrical ignition system. So from start to finish, she was an integral part in everything that Benz did. One of Karl Benz's biggest foibles in his career was he was a perfectionist. He had his vehicle patented in 1886, but he spent the better part of the next 2 years just testing and testing and testing, trying to get everything absolutely perfect. And it was Bertha who just became impatient. She thought his product was, if not perfect, it was certainly ready for market, ready for the world. So she and two of their teenage sons rolled one of their patent motorwagons out of the workshop in the very early hours of the morning before dawn, rolled it down the road a little ways, fired it up so it wouldn't wake him up. They were down the road, and they decided to take what amounted to a 66-mile trip in 12 hours to visit her mother in Pforzheim. She was not only the first female long-distance automobile trip, she was the first road test. She was troubleshooting when she ran out of fuel. You can't just pull over for gasoline in 1888. So she stopped at the pharmacy and bought a bottle of Lagrogne, which is a petroleum distillate that was used as a cleaner. When the brakes started to fail, she stopped at a cobbler's shop. She invented leather brake linings. When the fuel line clogged, she pulled her hat pin out of her hat and threaded it through the fuel line to clear out the clog. All of these little vignettes that we see along the way on this trip that individually may not really amount to much, but a 66-mile trip in an automobile in 1888 was the first time anyone had ever accomplished anything like this. One of the most important developments that came out of Bertha's trip with her sons was the realization that a single-gear, 3/4 horsepower car simply doesn't have the power to get up hills. When they came to a hill, she and their older son got out and they put Richard, who was 12 or 13 at the time, in the driver's seat because he was the lightest, and they sent him up the hill while they pushed and assisted. So one of her first comments was, we need more power. We need more gears in this thing. So Karl immediately fabricated a low gear so they'd be able to climb hills. From start to finish, she was an integral part of his success and his work.